1968 was the year British Railways abandoned steam, but it was also the year Triang Hornby released its first model of the Class A3 locomotive Flying Scotsman. This is the very model, painted in dark BR green, which for the last week or so has been refurbished to working order. But it's not one of my recent bargain finds. This was a voluntary repair job for Hannah Lou Locos, who sent this to me after a follower on TikTok recommended me to see if it could be fixed. Now I should note I'm not making send-in repairs a regular thing, but after what she told me about this particular loco's history, I felt compelled to try and restore it, but it needed much more than a cleaned up jump start. When the loco arrived in its box, I was surprised that it still had its original crew and instructions tucked away behind its tray. Condition-wise, it's held up okay. The smokebox doors had lost its handles and one lining sticker was missing from its cylinders. Its glowing firebox still had its original bulb wired in. The sponge inside the tender holding the weights down had crumbled away, so this along with the main body shell were given a thorough clean. Next, attention was turned to the motor itself. As I own a similar Flying Scotsman, I was familiar with this chassis setup, with the XO4 motor residing. It was there I spotted two problems straight away. The wires from both the pickups and the firebox were not soldered onto their correct positions. The motor's magnet felt weak testing with a screwdriver, so I attempted recharging it with the remagnetizer. This is where I messed up, however. When I remagnetized it the wrong way, I ended up with a smoking motor. But when it was done again the correct way, it worked okay in one direction, but the opposite resulted once again in smoke. Even when a new magnet was swapped out, it was still smoking. In the end, the simplest thing to do was to give it a new motor altogether. With the motor sorted, next it was on to lubricating the wheels to free up their motion. A spray of electric cleaning fluid on the chassis and pickups removes oxidation, which, if not applied, prevents more current from reaching the motor, avoiding overheating. When testing the new motor attached to the chassis, another problem arose. The insulating wheel bushes are made of plastic and tend to wear out. As such, it looked like the whole wheel set required dismantling to replace them. So I decided to take the engine along to my friend Kev, who's helped me on various repair jobs before. He didn't have any spare bushes himself at the time, so I ordered a set, but not before the glowing firebox was rewired. After leaving the loco with him for a few days, the new wheel bushes arrived. They were simple enough to fit, but it took the both of us to re-quarter the wheels before the rods were reattached. I couldn't have managed it without Kev's help. The rods, however, had been bent over time and continued to stiffen the wheels up. So after another few days at Kev's where he straightened them out, the loco finally began to perform better. Gratified for his help, I was then left to take the loco home, making some final tests before boxing it back up. Although rewired, the gears had worn off the pickup wire's jacket, causing a short circuit. This was fixed up swiftly with heat shrinking a new jacket over the exposed wire. Finally, after the wheels were polished up, the loco was left to run on the rolling road for about half an hour to ensure it wouldn't short out and would prove dependable. With that, the restoration was finally complete. Although not the smoothest crawler, this is the best performance that's going to come out of a model loco that's almost 60 years old. These Triang locos of the time provided nostalgia that they evoked through their play value. This Flying Scotsman was once owned by Hannah's late stepdad, and it probably brought him years of joyful memories before being handed down to her. Similarly, the joy of seeing the Flying Scotsman itself during her Doncaster homecoming is a memory I got to treasure, having shared that day with a special friend. Now it's time for this loco to be given her own homecoming, ready to be posted back to Hannah. As always, a big thanks to Kev for helping me during the process of this restoration, and of course, thank you for watching.